What's up, YouTube, and welcome to Codename Scream. I am that horror guy.
And I am Mel.
And please make sure to like, subscribe, and ring the bell for notifications for all things horror. Welcome to another episode of With That Being Said. We've taken a little bit off from that series momentarily while we covered our found footage with footage being found. So if you haven't checked out that series, please make sure to go back and take a look. Covered some pretty good ones, I'd say, there.
And we'll get back at it.
And we're going to get right back at it. Yeah, we're just taking a week off before we come right back at it. This one, we are doing a little bit of a palate cleanser for everybody and doing a submission that's been in the inbox for a while. So thank you. What are we covering today?
Bones.
Yeah.
It was released October 26, 2001. Directed by Ernest Dickerson, who you may know from the movie Juice, the Tupac movie.
Nope.
No? You've
Nope.
never seen it?
Nope.
It's a good movie.
All
I liked
right.
it. All right. Anyway, produced by Rupert Harvey, Peter Heller, and Lloyd Segan. Written by Adam Simon and Tim Metcalf.
All right. Nobody's names I know there.
And you know what? When I was doing research for this, I was Googling everyone, and the only person that, did anything notable was the director.
Okay.
So apparently this ruined everyone's career.
Except for Snoop.
Except for Snoop.
And except for Pam Grier.
Yeah.
You know, they still kept going.
Yeah.
But, so we'll talk about the budget here momentarily. We had a budget of $16 million. Unfortunately, the box office couldn't even meet up, and not just at the halfway point. It brought in $8.4 million. Ranking. This will be one of the lowest ones we've covered on With That Being Said as far as the budget side is concerned. And if you were to adjust that for 2021 inflation, you're only looking at $12.6 million.
Which still isn't even covering the budget.
It's
and
still,
the
yeah,
budget's not even adjusted.
When we talk failures on previous episodes, this one came in swinging with the failures. On the box office, just... Yeah.
And it was also a failure to everyone else because on Rotten Tomatoes, critics score a low 23%. Audience, 39% of them must have been not paying attention to the movie because 39% liked it. So.
Yep. So this movie just was not well liked across the board. I would definitely put this in the cult classic status. Because there are people that do like it. Obviously, we have a submission for it, so clearly there was a fan base.
I'd never heard of it until the submission came. I was like, what is this? And then I was like, Snoop Dogg? What?
I watched it and when it first came out, and I don't remember a lot of it, so this is like watching it all over again. I watched it on YouTube. There is a link that I'm going to provide here in the description below where you can watch it right here on YouTube. Just a brief overview of the film. Snoop Dogg is the main focal point of the film as Jimmy Bones. He is a numbers runner in his neighborhood in 1979 and gets brutally murdered by his girlfriend and two of his business cahoots and a cop.
That was like the best part of the movie.
Yeah.
That was like the one part where I was like, oh man, when they were like saying, now you stab him, now you stab him. I was like, oh!
It was brutal. That didn't come into like 45 minutes into the movie.
Yeah.
We had a whole 45 minutes up till that point. Pretty much the son of one of the guys that kills him buys the house that he lived in because he's going to convert it into this giant club. It's going to be the hottest club, but it's in a seedy neighborhood. And Dad owns the real estate company that he buys it from, and he finds out the night they're supposed to open. And one thing, the girl Kip, she was Kip in Freddy vs. Jason too, so I'm starting to wonder if there was a little bit of an attempt at a universe there, possibly. Yeah. Possibly not, maybe just coincidence. Maybe her name is Kip, but it's not. I checked.
It's not.
I checked. So maybe it's a nickname. Who knows? I'm trying to save here. They find a dog at the abandoned house, which is the spirit of Jimmy Bones, and as they feed it, we get the B-grade version of Hellraiser. Not that Hellraiser had an A-grade going on here, but we had the B-grade where, we're going to, feed the dog and it's going to bring the person back. It's kind of like Frank, the more they killed him and the more the blood came down, it brought him back. This film definitely was, if you were to take A Nightmare on Elm Street, Hellraiser, and throw it with a Snoop Dogg music video for an hour and 39 minutes.
Yep.
And that's about it. They resurrect Jimmy Bones. He comes in, brutally kills a whole group of people. All the people involved, they somehow end up in the city of the dead on a different plane of existence.
Yeah.
I got lost There was a lot of loopholes in here.
It was so confusing.
Yeah.
Like, it made no sense.
Yeah, and it just kind of ends quickly. I don't have much to go on from there.
I don't like how they didn't give any backstory on how Jimmy Bones became this dog.
Yeah, there are...
like a shapeshifter.
Yeah, like we got an Animorphs book, you know? Like, I just don't get it. There was so much of the plot that just did not exist.
Like, the concept is cool. Like, if you take the concept itself, and it could have been made into a cool movie. Mm-hmm. But it was not.
Yeah.
And the effects, the blood, got me. Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
That was just like, don't even get me started on that. Yeah. Like, you can buy better blood at
Spirit Halloween
shop.
You can go to Spirit Halloween and get a better jug of blood.
Yeah,
you can drop corn syrup on the floor with some dye and then have some better blood.
Yeah, yeah.
And the one-liners.
Yeah.
I've got a natural high, a supernatural high.
You know, my favorite part of this movie though was the maggots.
Yeah.
And the dog opens his mouth and it's like vomiting like maggots. And you can almost see where it's like coming out behind the dog and not like out of the dog's mouth. And I'm like, oh no, this is awesome.
Yep.
But, okay.
What do we have for more fun facts?
Well, first of all, I love Pam Grier. I just want to go on record and say Pam Grier is awesome.
She made this palatable.
Yeah. So Snoop Dogg and Pam Grier have been doing music videos together since 1993. So them working together was no new thing. It was the first feature film they did together. And the thing that I found weird is Snoop Dogg and Pam Grier in the movie are supposed to be like of similar age because they were lovers. So it's supposed to be they're nowhere near like the same age. So Snoop Dogg was born in 1971. Pam Grier was born in 1949. That's 22-year age difference.
She looks like she doesn't look like she was.
She looks real good, or Snoop Dogg looks real bad.
Yeah, you be the judge there.
Yeah. A couple other things that I found interesting. There was a lot of things in this film that did not make sense. Mm-hmm. One of them being, and I noticed it, and then doing some research, I found that a lot of other people had noticed it too. The little, rhyme they were saying, you know, the kids. He has a switchblade loose and a diamond on his hand. Jimmy Bones doesn't have a switchblade.
No, that was not a switchblade.
It was, like, a main focal point that he was playing with his butterfly knife the entire time. That is not a switchblade.
Nope. Not even.
They couldn't fit butterfly knife into the rhyme somehow?
Nope.
Snoop Dogg's a rapper. He could have figured this out. Yep. He could have given some better bars than things that made sense. The last thing that is it's more of a factual thing about the poor budget box office ratio. So opening weekend, it only earned $2.8 million in theaters. It was released in 847 theaters, and so that's an average of only $3,333 per theater.
My.
That's pathetic.
Yeah,
that's
that
like
hurts.
Most other movies make that in like the first hour they're open.
This is on par with Texas Chainsaw Massacre and The Next Generation, where they went in and they only made $165,000 worldwide. Yeah. Theatrically. So this is right there with it. Yeah, so what do you think of it?
Oh my god. So like I said, I like the concept, and it was interesting because this week I was listening to a podcast called And That's Why We Drink, and they were talking about hellhounds. And it was interesting because it kind of tied into this that I had watched literally the night before. But I'm kind of now obsessed with this like concept of hellhounds because there's like actual sightings of them in the world, which is interesting. So in my mind, this could have been such a good movie. Yes. Like if they would have just went with that, if they would have given that context. There was no context to literally anything. And if you've watched our videos before, you've heard me say the word context 10,000 times. I love context.
Easily.
No context whatsoever to this movie. I was confused. Like, even toward the end, I was still like, are they going to tie this together? Is this finally going to come together? No. Not at all.
Nope.
And it just... I wasn't bored. I have to say that, because between the awful fake blood and the maggots and the horrible acting and Snoop Dogg being there, you know, I was never bored. So on an entertainment front, I gotta give it that it was entertaining.
Yeah.
It was not a horror movie. There was nothing scary about this whatsoever. And I think that's, like, if they would have made this to be, like, a parody, you know, it would have been a good movie.
Mm-hmm. Probably would have been a lot more successful.
They were, like, dead serious.
Mm-hmm.
And it just, I shook my head the entire time I was watching this movie. So, on a horror front, I gotta give this a big fat 0 out of 10. On an entertainment factor, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. Because the effects got me. That's what made me love this a little bit.
Yeah.
Was the blood, the maggots, the clearly not stabbing when they're supposed to be stabbing. Yeah. It was just all around an awful movie, but it was to the point where I kind of liked it because it was so awful.
Yeah.
Would I watch it again? Absolutely not. Do I suggest that you watch it? Yeah, I do. Because I feel like everyone has to sit through this at least once in their life.
I'm going to say don't watch this movie. I'm going to retract that statement. This is not like Halloween 3 where it's so bad it's good and you can watch it. When I saw it years and years past, it was good. I was like, oh, this isn't that bad. And I'm taking it with, you know, an adult lens.
Was this the first movie you watched?
It was like up there. I was starting to get into horror, and I'm like, I'm this edgy, cool kid. I'm watching horror. And, this one missed the mark big time.
Yeah.
Plot holes were just terrible. The CGI was just, it was bad. All the way across the board. Snoop was awesome.
Yeah.
You know,
Snoop can't not be awesome.
But Snoop, can never not be awesome. Yeah. Pam Grier stole the show. Mm-hmm. You know, I've loved her since first time I've seen her in Jackie Brown. Yep. Like, Pam is always, without a doubt, a phenomenal actress. Mm-hmm. But, yeah, very phoned-in acting, very fake. You know, I didn't feel anything from it. Like, they're like, oh, my God. I'm like, I was like, oh, man. And then you got this, like, tomato bisque soup running through the floor. I'm just like, I've seen worse in a kitchen working. Yeah. It was just, no. I can't really say much more other than that, just no.
I feel like if you're into watching bad movies for the purpose of just watching a bad movie, this is a good bad movie to watch if you want to see an awful movie. If you're like, I want to laugh at something and see something awful, this is one of the movies you can put on and be like, yeah, this is bad.
But she did mention, you know, if you do like bad movies and watch them, you know, for sport, we're interested to see what you have in store for us. So if you want to see us react to really bad movies and review them, sound off in the comments below. Let's talk about them. Give us some more titles. We'll get those submissions coming. Yeah. We also now launched a Patreon for only $1 per month. Come on over. It is patreon.com/codenamescream. We're going to put a lot of the stuff that we can't put on here for you guys. There's a lot of controversials that we're looking to cover that have been brought up multiple times that we will not be able to put on this platform whatsoever.
They will get flagged
They will immediately get flagged. And some of these submissions that, you know, when we start going through them, we can actually do them there. Mm-hmm. And then just come and join us over there for only $1. Yep. So, but, you know, let's talk about this movie if you have seen it. And if you haven't, you know what not to do.
I just want you to suffer. Watch it.
Yeah. If the pain between these faces isn't enough, go see it for yourself. Like I said, check out in the description below. I've got links in multiple different ways for you to see this. So, what are we going to start doing next week, though? We're coming right back with the found footage.
We are continuing our found footage series. We are going through all of the paranormal activities.
Yes.
Which I am so excited about. Back to my favorite genre of found footage.
And one of the best series.
One of the best series. I can't wait.
Yep, so a good time. Starting next week, keep an eye out. We are going to be covering Paranormal Activity 1 and 2. We also are going to be covering The Conjuring 3, The Devil Made Me Do It. That drops this Friday, June 4th. So you will see a review about that here right around the corner. And we'll both do our homework, maybe.
I will.
That's a maybe here.
Yeah.
But with that being said, scare you later, YouTube.